But in this small community that I should suppose that I'm in, that is under the name of the commentary community, it's a spawning source of a good majority of the drama inside of YouTube, or in some cases that go beyond YouTube. The community has continued to grow and rise alongside the popularity of the commentary channels, which pretty much created this community. But most of these channels attempt to talk and make a conversation about trending topics through the means of making fun of or criticizing them. And remember the word attempt, for most of them are not to bring a full conversation with their viewers, and especially not go beyond the one-sided nature of their own opinion. The repetition of these videos are especially annoying, but the unwillingness to change from excessive and self-realized criticism is what's killing them. Drama before the unwitting commentary channels was sparse on YouTube, and when it came up, everybody talked about it. Not because it was a trending topic or could get some good ad revenue, but instead because it actually wanted to spread the news. The ever and continuing to evolve nature of the audience and creators has now begun to force a split between the community being caused by only a few different people. The automatic standout, these would be the Leafy and iDubbbz unnecessary drama that was blown way out of proportion about a half a year ago. The very minor critiques that iDubbbz gave to Leafy was not worthy of several hours of coverage. I think I can manage watching a couple different videos by myself, but basically relaying the same information to someone and adding your own 2 cents to a topic are kind of sort of completely different things, but that seems to be a problem that a lot of people are having a hard time understanding, with a few that end up actually making comments about the drama being complete morons about it.
I think my only stipulation with the bullying is that you also have to not be a pussy.
Oh, so you, guy who hides behind a camera, are super brave. And Leafy is here, guy who hides behind a camera. Oh, that's totally different. He's a pussy, but you're not. Now you're trying to use Leafy's age to make fun of him. Meanwhile, you are also a grown man wearing a t-shirt of a cartoon character, killing themselves. I don't know, last time I checked, adults were generally supposed to avoid gimmicky childlike t-shirts.
Completely exposing the fact that they are just simply crawling towards the ad revenue, struggling to find a single piece of actual criticism, and simply just showing their weaknesses to the public. And as for the others that can't even comprehend what the term beating a dead horse is, even if I were to shove it in their face. Oh wait! No, don't misinterpret me here when I say that. It's okay for you to make a video on a subject that a lot of other people have already talked about. It's just, if you don't feel like you have to make a video on it, then don't make it. And speaking of unnecessary videos, right after I made my Colossal's Crazy one, where I briefly went over the slightly above mediocre podcast that he co-starred in for a little while, that ended, Keemstar revived that podcast with the same name of Baited, but there were new co-hosts in it. Keem was still in there, but in place of Oliver and Tommy, being kicked off of the show was Chad, aka Anything for Views and Any Mo Nakas. Now, people are kind of pissed off for the reason why Keemstar booted the podcast and taking away the old co-stars. The reason being that he had a disagreement with Cloud and Tommy about what the split of revenue should be, along with several other reasons that have yet to be made public information. But to be honest, I actually really like this new Baited podcast, even though a lot of people are saying that they get along better, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I will say that they have a lot less yelling. But that also allows for far more in-depth conversations rather than just bitching about the semantics of whether or not some woman is acting for nearly an hour. We get a little bit more of a broader strokes on the podcast rather than just the close-up details, viewing the whole situation as one rather than the prior. And even in the latest ones, Keemstar has gone over, unsurprisingly, the commentary community fairly deep. And even then, I often enjoy hearing about people analyzing forced memes and unfunny jokes for what they really are. Two completely separate parts of one unified community. It's the difference between a kinda war and wrecked feminist videos, the child and the adult, the sheep and, well, people who can actually think for themselves. And the mere concept of going too far is an insult in these idiocies' minds, and the difference between one creator and another in the same f***ing community is insane. Making over 100 videos on the same topic gets kind of boring, so let me reinstate myself. Feminazis and SJWs are almost the same thing, so you don't have to keep tiptoeing around the fact, especially if you're going to pretty much refer to them as if they are the same. But at this point, I'm just sounding like a broken record along with, but not nearly to the degree of you guys. and I'm starting to get a little bit bored of talking about the commentary community and even saying it, so I'm just gonna leave it here with only one line left. A trend is temporary, but anything learned with it is, well, if I'm gonna be honest, anything learned with it is also temporary. In 2 years' time, Leafy, Keemstar, and Pyre are all gonna be a thing of the past, and we're just gonna end up forgetting about this. And we're probably just gonna end up repeating it all again, so bye.
I always thought I might be bad. Now I'm sure that it's true, 'cause I think you're so good, and I'm nothing like